Right now at 5, an arrest is made in a decades-old homicide case.
And a body is discovered in a La Crosse park.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. After almost 4 decades, law enforcement officials are filing charges in the 1985 murder of a UWL student.
News 8 Now's Allison Ferget is live at the Vernon County Courthouse. Good evening, Allison.
Ken and Emily, 6-year-old Michael Popp of Tomah is accused of killing Terry Dalloway. According to the criminal complaint, Popp was acquaintances with Dalloway and her fiancé, Russell Lee. The three, along with Popp's girlfriend, would participate in pool tournaments together. Dalloway went missing on Valentine's Day, 1985. Her body was found 4 days later in Vernon County. Officers first interviewed Popp in March of '85 about the case, but it wasn't until September 2022 that officers confirmed Popp was a match for DNA found on Dalloway's body.
But what I can say is there's been advancements over the years, and those advancements have helped make identification in many cases.
Since the DNA discovery, Popp has undergone other interviews with law officials. Popp was arrested in Monroe County this weekend for an unrelated case. He's accused of stalking and domestic abuse, among other charges. He was moved to Vernon County Jail yesterday and faces first-degree murder for Dalloway's death. Popp's bail hearing was earlier today, and his bail is set at $1 million. It's unclear right now when he will return to court. Reporting in Vernon County, Allison Ferget. Ken and Emily, back to you.
All right, thank you, Allison.
An investigation is underway after a body was found near Wygant Park this morning.
Just before 7:30 a.m., La Crosse police were called to the 1500 block of Cass Street for a report of a deceased person. Police say it appears to be an isolated incident that remains under investigation. We will, of course, update you on our website and on air as we learn more.
Well, another pleasant, really fall-like day, minus the morning fog that we had once again this time. But overall, temperatures a few degrees warmer than yesterday with a few more clouds. But overall, very pleasant, very close to where we should be for this time of year. There's some cloud cover out there, but that should actually dissipate as we go throughout the evening. Temperatures overall in the upper 60s to low 70s. Bigger picture shows that we have systems to the south, but they are staying south, and that cold front to the northwest is kind of split and started falling apart. So we've just seen some cloud cover with it, but all the precipitation has stayed well to the south, and that other system has stayed well to the south too. So really not much to really expect for this evening. Getting back down to the upper 50s, calm winds. Those cloud cover will decrease a little bit as we go throughout the late evening hours. Same story for La Crosse, getting back down to the upper 50s, light winds and clearing skies. There's your temperatures out to the west. That's an indication that we have some warmer temperatures on the way, and we're actually going to see probably the 80s come back. But for tonight, another typical night with some morning fog in the river areas, upper 40s to near 50 for most areas, minus some colder spots in the lower 40s, which is pretty close to where we should be. But once again, the warm is really the story for the forecast going throughout this weekend. We're going to see several days of at least getting close to 80, if not surpassing. So we'll break it all down a bit later in the broadcast.
Keeping things interesting for sure.
Yes, thank you, Greg. Well, Wisconsin Senate candidate Eric Hovde is making a campaign stop today at a Tomah cranberry bog. Hovde today echoing previous points on the toll that inflation and government regulation have had on Wisconsin farmers. He says the 1972 Clean Water Act in particular allows government to regulate any water on a farm. That act was designed to regulate navigable waters, but what that actually means has been litigated for decades. The GOP candidate says instead of regulating them, Washington should listen to farmers and put them in a position to succeed.
Wisconsin, the agricultural community is such an enormously important part of Wisconsin, and we have to make sure our farmers can thrive and survive, because a lot of farmers are going through a lot of difficulty today.
Hovde also visited the La Crosse Center this morning to speak about health care and housing at the Wisconsin Counties Association's annual conference.
Today, Mayo Clinic Health System is relocating patients from the Francis Building to its new location. The new building has 6 levels and around 100 beds. It's right next to their old location and is equipped with advanced technology, allowing for personalized care on a much larger scale. The operations administrator says the move went well thanks to the help of staff members and volunteers.
the support from our staff and volunteers, helping to make this day move really smoothly. As any large move like this happens, we had little things here and there, but overall a really smooth transition for our patients and their visitors into our new facility.
Now, the Francis building will still hold some procedure areas and clinics. The new hospital is the largest construction project in Mayo Clinic Health System's history.
September is Workforce Development Month, and a local event is putting that into action. The Western Wisconsin Workforce Development Center hosted the Power of Partnership Open House today. The event brings together organizations, employers, and job seekers to create connections and strengthen the state's workforce. The DWD's regional director says the open house isn't only for those searching for employment.
We also can help people who are looking to change careers or that are already participating in the workforce and find resources to upskill themselves for the job that they currently have.
If you weren't able to make it to today's open house, there's another one tomorrow in Eau Claire at the Job Center running from 1 to 5 p.m.
Western Technical College is powering up the future of industrial technology with a new addition to its Tomah campus. Today, the school unveiled its Mechatronics Lab, a state-of-the-art facility designed to teach the latest developments in automation and advanced manufacturing. As Western's president explains, the lab is not designed for one specific course. Instead, it provides specialized training based on employers' needs.
What we do have out here is customized training, and the lab that we have in here is to help employers that need this skill, that skill, this skill, and then we can build them into credentials for them that can help them get their associate degree.
Companies train their employees at the lab, but it's also designed to be mobile, making it easy for on-the-job training.
The battle for the battlegrounds.
Former President Trump is back on the campaign trail as Kamala Harris unveils her plans to make abortion rights federal law. The latest after this.
Is your personal injury lawyer trying to sell you a settlement that you don't think is fair? You need a lawyer who won't settle your case just to move on to the next one. Get the full compensation you deserve. Get Bygoff and Rohde.
It can be backbreaking work all day, every day, pretty much on your feet. So it burns me up when Eric Hovde says people in Wisconsin don't work hard. The guy is a multi-millionaire California banker. He has absolutely no idea what we're going through. He's living the high life out there in a big fancy house. He even brags about being in the 1%. Listen, don't come here and tell us we're not working hard when we are just getting by. Eric Hovde doesn't respect us at all. The guy's a straight up jerk. ESCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
As a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on investing right now in you, the American people. And we can chart a new way forward. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
When I called other lawyers, I wasn't even sure who was going to be representing me. Once I called BGR and talked to Brian, I felt secure immediately. I'm so glad that I called Bygoff and Rohde.
The The two presidential candidates today each focused on issues that they feel are the strongest.
Former President Donald Trump was talking about the economy during a trip to the battleground state of Georgia, while Vice President Kamala Harris is suggesting a way to make abortion rights federal law. Skylar Henry has more details from the White House.
Former President Donald Trump took the stage in Savannah, Georgia for a speech focused on his tax policy.
We're cutting the business tax from 21% to 15%, which makes us the most competitive tax anywhere on the planet, but only for those who make their product in the USA.
Trump claims his protectionist policies, putting tariffs on goods coming into the U.S., will help, not hurt the economy.
We will take in hundreds of billions of dollars into our treasury and use that money to benefit the American citizens, and it will not cause inflation, by the way.
The Harris campaign released a statement from more than 400 economists contending Trump's tariffs and plans for mass deportations would cause prices to spike. Vice President Harris is off the campaign trail while President Biden is at the UN General Assembly, though she used a radio interview to sharpen her differences between her and Trump over the key issue of abortion. Harris told Wisconsin Public Radio she wants to eliminate the Senate filibuster to bring back abortion rights that existed under Roe v. Wade.
51 votes would be what we need to actually put back in law the protections for reproductive freedom and for the ability of every person and every woman to make decisions about their own body and not have their government tell them what to do.
That would also require Democrats hanging on to a Senate majority in the upcoming election. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Retiring Senator Joe Manchin, who flipped from being a Democrat to an independent earlier this year, announced he would not be endorsing Harris following her call to eliminate the filibuster.
Manchin said getting rid of the Senate filibuster would destroy the country.
Bracing for impact.
Florida residents are scrambling for sandbags as tropical storm Helene quickly approaches.
And we're dealing with more fog, typical fall fog that we see in the morning, but we're going to see warmer temperatures tomorrow. In fact, in the next couple days, we're probably going to reach 80 once again. We'll break down the temperatures and if we got any precipitation in the forecast coming up on your First Warn Weather update after the break.
Ashley knows that some of our most important traditions and memories start around the dining table. From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, we have versatile options that fit any space, with styles ranging from mid-century modern to farmhouse or traditional, starting at just $499.99, only at Ashley.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. These places employ us, sponsor the Little League team, and feed and clothe us. That's why I'm proud of the work I've done to support our business community. I know that the side of the aisle you're on matters less than being on the side of our main streets. No party has a monopoly on good ideas. I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm working for our businesses, working for our communities, and I'm working for you.
Are you thinking about new windows and doors? A new bathroom, a new kitchen? Maybe a sunroom, siding, or a deck. Get started today with special savings while we celebrate serving homeowners for over 35 years. While we celebrate Danielle becoming the new general manager.
And celebrate Dad's 80th birthday.
Best products.
The best people.
Best prices.
35th anniversary at the Board Store.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on 2024 Sierra 1500 Denali models. That's over $6,400 in average finance savings.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
It's that time of year again. Oktoberfest is back with 4 days of fun. Join us for the parades, craft beer, games, tapping of the Golden Keg, and much more. New this year, Sunday is Community Day with free admission. Join us September 26th through the 29th at the Oktoberfest grounds. Das Beste.
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers mattresses for every level of comfort, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. We have affordable mattress options for everybody. Find your perfect match today, only at Ashley. Shop more deals in store and online.
It's an Oktoberfest tradition, the Maple Leaf Parade, Saturday at 10 a.m. on Channel 8.2 or streaming on News 8 Plus. Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Florida is bracing for Tropical Storm Helene, which is expected to strengthen into a major hurricane by the time it makes landfall along the Gulf Coast later this week.
Crews in Tampa cleared out drains today to prepare for the possible storm surge. In Bay County, drivers waited in long lines for gas, and in St. Petersburg, an assembly line of workers put together sandbags to distribute to residents. Florida officials say they are ready for the storm.
We did flood protection devices, and we are staging those all along the Gulf Coast for storm surge and flooding protection, particularly with the utility substations. So we have 150,000 linear feet of flood protection devices to be deployed before the storm makes landfall.
DeSantis today announced that most of the state outside of 6 coastal southeastern counties are now included in the executive order declaring a state of emergency.
Well, over here in our area, we don't have a lot of storms in our foreseeable future. Just sunny and fall-like temps the rest of the week, Greg.
Well, we do have sunny skies. We will have some impact from that hurricane once it falls apart, but the good news is the trend has been keeping it further south when it works its way up to northern, basically central Indiana, that low. But we are going to see some cloud cover from it, but that's about it. For the next few mornings, typical morning fog. It's this time of year that the river areas definitely get this, bodies of water, so that'll be a problem, or low clouds for Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, probably more clouds, so we won't see as the fog. Warm, we're going to be going above average, probably 10 degrees above average at least, so the 80s are going to be back just barely into the 80s through the weekend, potentially even through next Monday. And as I mentioned, more cloud cover. We'll see that increasing mid and high clouds as we go throughout the weekend. There is a slight chance for a rain shower, but that looks to be mainly the Wisconsin River area and further south. And I'll show you how close that gets, but the trend is keeping that rain band further south. So that's the good news for Oktoberfest. It looks actually really fantastic. Here's the system that's coming through right now. We're just to the west. Right now, just cloud cover kind of falls apart and it's diving south. So we'll see a few clouds from that. That actually is going to play a factor in where the hurricane actually comes up to, eventually downstream. But overall, this pattern has continued. But notice to the west, a big ridge. And here's the tropical storm, which will eventually become a major hurricane as it tracks pretty much right up to the Big Bend of Florida and then further north. And once again, that will provide some cloud cover. Now, fog, we have that problem once again this morning. We had it Monday morning. We'll probably see it more again. Really, it's between about 6 to 9 a.m. time frame that we see visibilities drop, potentially down to less than a mile, or you get that low clouds that kind of hover over the area. So I think a lot of that will be there once again, especially along the rivers. We'll see that throughout the morning hour. By the time we get to about 9, you start seeing less and less of that. Visibility improves, and we're pretty much good. So about a 2 to 3 hour time frame right during the morning commute. If you're near the rivers, do pay attention. You might get visibilities drop fairly quickly for a short amount of time, less than a half mile. There's your temperatures tomorrow. We're going to boost them up 3 to 4 degrees, so we're looking more at the mid-70s, so above average. Plenty of sun once the fog burns off in the morning. And then Thursday, even better. We're looking at 80 potentially in a lot of areas, 10 degrees above average. Once any fog burns off, we'll have plenty of sunshine out there. And good news for the Torchlight Parade, you can't beat these temperatures and wind speeds. We'll have a few clouds out there, but otherwise fantastic conditions, and temperatures get down to the mid-60s as we get around 9 to 10 p.m. And then that system, as we mentioned, it's going to start coming up, but not until about Friday. You're going to start seeing cloud cover approach southeastern Wisconsin, and here it is coming up. But there's the rain that stays to our south, kind of the remnants of that hurricane. It'll be a tropical system or tropical depression as it gets up here. But throughout Friday and the weekend, we're just going to see cloud cover come up, but not much rainfall at all. It should stay to the south. That'll keep our temperatures pretty close to 80 through the weekend before maybe a cold front comes through next week, drops them back down to maybe where we should be at that point in the upper 60s. But all in all, I don't know, you can't beat this forecast for pretty much once again for Friday Night Football for the 4th week in a row, and then Oktoberfest and everything. So
Look at how lucky we are.
Yes.
It's a fun time of year. The coffee is like, it warms your soul in the morning because it feels like fall. And then it turns into summer by 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Exactly. We're going to have more of that too, once again.
There we go. Nice little mix. Thank you, Greg.
Cash at the Capitol.
Why the man in black is being honored among presidents and historians in Washington, D.C. Next.
Have you ever tried doing arts and crafts when you're feeling down? Tomorrow on News 8 Now This Morning, we'll take a look at a new study that says you might want to start when we see you at 5 a.m.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with a flat interior work surface. Drop down the tailgate to get it all done, and plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 2.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $9,900 in total savings on a new Ford F-150 XLT. Only at your local Nordland Ford dealers.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More sofas, more recliners, more mattresses, more of everything. You're going to find whatever you want, and you're going to find plenty of it. And it's all priced to go with 0% easy payment plans available. And as always, free delivery. Just try that anywhere else. Come visit us today.
King Furniture.
Nice people, nice furniture.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, an unlikely likeness is now gracing the U.S. Capitol.
Yeah, a bronze statue of famed singer and songwriter Johnny Cash was unveiled this morning. It joins politicians and other historical figures in the Capitol Visitor Center's Emancipation Hall. Arkansas sent the likeness of its native son to represent the state. Members of the Man in Black's family were on hand for the honor.
He loved those who reached for a better life because he picked cotton and sweated and toiled and took that sweat and used it as a template for art and service.
Cash said he wore black to honor the poor and the hungry, prisoners, and those betrayed by age or drugs. He sold 90 million albums during his 6-decade career. Music legend dying in 2003 at the age of 71.
That's interesting that they chose him as the state representative. I didn't know they could have, you know, musicians and talent of such kind like him.
Well, I guess you can now, especially when you have such an iconic career like that. Probably gets you into that upper echelon.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got some great songs too. We're not all that too familiar with him.
No, not as familiar with his discography.
I saw the movie though. Him and Reese Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon did an excellent job. And if you see that movie, you'll get more into the tunes.
Okay, I'll put it on my list.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll have another look at tonight's forecast after the break.
A suspected Venezuelan gang member who was arrested for domestic battery.
Violently attacked a woman physically and sexually.
The border crisis is real here in Wisconsin.
Criminal gangs harming our community.
We're stretched thin. Open borders and weak politicians are crushing us.
Rebecca Cook is one of them. She doesn't back law enforcement. She'll never secure the border. She doesn't even want to.
That's why we stand with Derek Van Orton. He has our back.
And I've got yours. I'm Derek Van Orton, and I approve this message.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's fall tool sale is going on now. Shop our unbeatable selection and prices on great brands to help you tackle fall projects. Like $100 off these DeWalt tool batteries, now just $39. Over half off 50-foot Yellow Jacket extension cords, $32.99. $30 off this 6-gallon Craftsman wet dry vac, only $59.99. And prep your yard with the State Lawn Fertilizer or Late Fall Winterizer, just $24.99.
Drive in and see Wisconsin's best furniture store. With holidays and the football season upon us, shop and order now.
Browse the most competitive prices on a huge selection of sofas, sectionals, and chairs.
Awesome discounts on power reclining with adjustable headrest, zero gravity, or lift.
Set the table this year with options from Ashley, Sunny Design, and our rustic Amish pieces. Looking for a better night's sleep? Try out any of our hybrid, all foam, and double-sided mattresses with adjustable bases and frames available.
Furniture from our family to yours. Black River Furniture Outlet, Black River Falls.
Dings, dents, scratches, big crunches. You know where to bring them. Pischke Motors Collision Center on 2nd Street in downtown La Crosse. This is a Pischke Motors Collision Center hail alert. If your vehicle was damaged in one of the recent storms, bring it down to our drive-in lanes for a quick estimate. We help with insurance claims and get your vehicle back in shape at Pischke Motors Collision Center. So when the dings, dents, scratches, and even the big crunches happen, bring them to Pischke Motors Collision Center on 2nd Street in downtown La Crosse.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry because you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do. Just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
We got your back.
National Democrats are spending millions on deceptive ads like these that lie and try to confuse you. Why? Because Democrats like Harris and Baldwin don't want you to focus on their radical record, allowing men to compete in girls' sports, funding a clinic that offers transgender therapy to minors without parents' consent, giving stimulus checks to illegals while Wisconsin families struggle. Baldwin and Democrats want you to focus on anything but their radical agenda.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
All right, tonight should be, once again, kind of a cool night, but still overall above average. We'll have the fog that we've had near rivers, lakes, a body of water, and that. Otherwise, warmer conditions tomorrow. We should see climbing back up to the mid to upper 70s. And then it's 80 for
That's a
stretch
Greg.
of a
We
long
love what
time.
we see. Everyone
Lots
get
of like
outside
right
and enjoy today.
That's
the rest
right.
of the week.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 6.